wonder for Mufasa, what appealed to you about how he's learning to be a leader? Because we know where he's going, but we don't know how he gets there.
I think for me, one of the most beautiful elements of this film is the fact that we get to understand the journey from point A to point B, which is the point we meet these characters in the 1994 original. In that original, we meet them sort of fully in their rhythm and in their place within the Pride Lands. And it's just really beautiful to see the journey and the trajectory to that point. And to learn that Mufasa was separated from his family by this biblical event that occurs and became an orphan as a result of that. Yes, he was welcomed into a new pride, but within that experience was ostracized and, dismissed. And to engage with those circumstances and focus on the controllables, not the uncontrollables, and then rise to where he finally lands, I think there's so much joy in that. And if I was a young person, and even as an adult, I take a lot of inspiration from that. There's a lot of beauty in that.
So, kind of a similar with Taka, like we know where it's going. I wonder, given the ultimate Scar destination, are there moments where you're like, okay, I'm going to do 5% Scar here, kind of 10% Scar, or how did you approach that?
You had a really beautiful journey with that character.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I originally came in thinking, well, I'm gonna do something very similar that we all know him as just early on.
Because it's iconic.
Yeah, and I was like, and that's kind of what I wanted to see. And and then Barry was like, well, we still have to give him the journey. He has to earn it. You know what I mean? And earning it doesn't necessarily mean earning this villain icon title, but earning what is the emotional journey of what got him there in the first place. So there was this light in him and this joy and this ability just to be so present, but then a misunderstanding of what was owed to him and his entitlement. And so there would be times where I'd be like, okay, can I go into more Jeremy Irons? He'd be like, try the Jeremy Irons version. I'd try the Jeremy Irons. He's like, okay, a little less, Kelvin, pull it back. And so we would play with it a lot.
You two seem very comfortable with each other. You needed to develop a relationship, either in the recording booth or, when you're together in scenes. Did you work on that kind of outside the studio, or did that just come from the writing?
I mean, interestingly, although we've worked with each other a number of times in a professional capacity with Mufasa the Lion King and Genius MLKX, we've not spent an enormous amount of time together on set. So the vast majority of the foundation of this friendship has been built off camera, has been outside of the context of work, which I actually think contributes to the strength of it.
The first time I actually saw Aaron in person, I've told this story, people tell me stop telling this story because it's so awkward, was in Toronto at the festival, and you passed me. I was with my parents, and I saw it, and we had already started shooting The Lion King. But because we were on Zoom the entire time, we couldn't actually just talk off camera, and Aaron passed, and I got nervous. And I told my dad, I was like, that's him.
That's wild. I remember you first told me that. I was like...
But that's the perfect kind of, brother energy right there. Little foreshadowing. Talk to me about lion acting, right? Because, there's moments where you have to, roar and fight and jump and... what is that like?
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was so much.
But it's embarrassing until you get really comfortable with it.
You're into it.
And then they have to tell you to rein it in. Because you kind of find a rhythm, you find a zone.
You lose yourself.
Are you roaring in the booth? Are you putting your hands up?
I had a little bar, and I used to use that bar and get my shoulders into it. I would growl, I would grunt.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of sort of efforts for the wrestling and the tussling and the fighting. I didn't have a bar, but I wish I requested one now. I feel like I missed out on an experience.
Next time.
Yeah, exact time.